Okay, I'm going to get right to it. Dear Mr. President, this is going to be as short as I can make it. This is a newspaper article that was never published. I was approached by a newspaper, a mainstream newspaper, not particularly left or right, called GHI in French. It's GHI in French. They had been following my exposing since I left Switzerland, the events, the circumstances, and the facts of what's been going on with my children at the group home. They also spoke with other parents, one mother in particular. I'm just going to read the article. It's posted on my website, and I'll put the link to it. They never published the article. They investigated everything. They verified everything. I kept all the communications between myself and the journalist. They approached me. Our story's been kept out of the media for 8 years. In Switzerland, in Europe, except in some alternative medias. I want you to hear this, even though you can read it directly. This is the English translation via DeepL, made by the journalist. And I'll read the following. And again, I want to say, I'm not attacking all of Geneva. I am definitely not attacking all of Switzerland. I am not attacking the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I am only doing what needs to be done to implore of you and to show you that the nightmare that has happened to my sons and our family, the death of their mother, this should have never happened, and this needs to stop. And I implore of you, Mr. President, please bring my boys back home to me. This is the article that was never published. Is Switzerland protecting a pedophile? That's the title. Over the past few weeks, a father has been making various serious accusations on the internet against an educator who looks after his 2 sons at the Maison, which means house, de Pierre Gris. He publicly called him a pédocriminel, which means pedophile, and accused the home of covering up his actions. The Maison de Pierre Gris website describes it as an educational boarding school in Geneva, which is a part of Geneva, for boys and girls aged 4 to 14 who are experiencing significant difficulties or behavioral problems requiring temporary separation from their parents. Placement in the home is made via the State of Geneva's Service de Protection et Mineurs, the SPMI, CPS. The 2 children of Neal David Sutz, Swiss-American, and let me remind you, my sons were born in America and raised in America. We just went there to take refuge. The 2 children of Neal David Sutz, Swiss-American, were placed in a home shortly after the family arrived from the USA in 2017. The mother of the 2 children, now deceased, had psychiatric problems which led social services to take action. In interviews, Neal David Sutz explains that he fled the United States to escape a parent, my ex-family-in-law, my ex-late wife's mother, and her husband. I will continue. Neal David Sutz explains that he fled the United States to escape a parent who sexually abused his nephew and whose actions he denounced. On the internet, the dual national, who has still not been awarded custody of his children, makes no secret of his disagreement with the institutions, denouncing in particular an abusive placement. I'm continuing now. In recent weeks, Neal David Sutz, who says he left Switzerland a few months ago, has gone on the offensive. He has documents. Sorry, I'm reading the original article now. This is the original article sent to me by the journalist Alim at the GHI, so I'm reading this very carefully. He has not hesitated to publish on the social networks Facebook and Telegram not only administrative documents, but also photos and recordings of his children proving that they are being mistreated. He also reveals a telephone conversation with an educator in charge of his children's education. That's Eric Amato. The father goes so far as to publish his name and photo, calling him a pédocriminel, which means pedophile. The father's conversations with his son's educator are indeed disturbing. Quote, this is when he asked me what I wanted to say. He quoted me exactly. The reasons why I have decided to publicly name Eric Amato as a pédocriminel are linked to the fact that I first witnessed on the occasion of a video conference an inappropriate gesture on his part towards my youngest son in November of 2019, and secondly, because he took an inappropriate photo of my child with his personal phone. He took a half-naked picture of my son and sent it to me. Furthermore, I believe that the Fondation Officielle de Jeunesse, FOJ, that's the organization that runs the foyers, all the group homes in Geneva. Furthermore, I believe that the Fondation Officielle de Jeunesse is continuously covering up his actions at the Foyer Pierre Gris, says Neal David Sutz. Quote continues, I have alerted numerous people connected with the institutions in relation to these two events, and the result is that not only is there a refusal to investigate, but there are also reprisals against me, which means retaliation, which include limiting my visitation rights for my sons. In reality, I had no choice but to act in this way if I want to get my sons back one day and protect other potential victims, unquote, continues the father. Eric Amato is not only an educator, he is also active in politics and associations. He was a Green candidate, the Green political party. He was a Green candidate for the Grand Conseil in 2023 and is co-president of the Geneva Federation of LGBTQ Associations. He's clearly an LGBTQ activist, and one wonders why these people are so keen to work with young children. Russia, unlike Switzerland, protects minors from LGBT propaganda. Everything seems to indicate that this activist enjoys protection in high places, and the media in Switzerland have not reported on this, even though it has international implications. End of article. The article speaks for itself. Please, Mr. President, bring my sons, Corey and Skylar, back home to me in America where they can be safe. Thank you, and God bless you.